Hey, we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the daytime stream. It's Friday. How's it going, guys? All right, let's get started. I took a picture of one of my rooms. I thought you guys would find that fun. I'm going to say, I have a lot of Pokemon cards for you. Live card shop. All right, we're going to save on that. It's true, though. I have a lot of Pokemon cards. Okay. Oh. Okay, we'll toss this over here. Very nice. What's up, guys? How is it going? Oh, man. I was enjoying our conversation on Discord. We were in the politics channel. We are. So I was enjoying that conversation. Maybe a little too much. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that. Maybe a little too much. We are. Okay, we're going to hit pause on that. I was reading the news. I really was. I was reading a lot of articles, actually, while we were talking. We are. Okay, so Sarah Dusenbaby here. Jack is. Six is here. Hello, Six. Hello, Luke. Hello, Alex. Hello, Nathan. How's it going, guys? All right, let's see. I like talking about Charizard. Let's see. What is this? I'm going to back out of here. And we are going to hit refresh. Hey, what's up, Mr. Alex Lopez? How's it going, Alex? Mega Evolution store promos revealed. What? What's this? Xerneas and the Yveltal. That makes sense. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Actually, I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to skip this one, too. All right, nice. So we are live for Friday. We're starting pretty late. It's 6:17. We should have started a little while ago. As a result, we will have a shorter stream. I'm sorry, guys. Mr. Skipped me, damn it. What? Hey, how's it going, Troy? No way, that soundtrack isn't copyrighted. Mr., what's your thoughts on the new Megas? The new Megas? Well, I know there's a new Raichu, right? X and Y Raichu. It's okay. You know, it doesn't leave me shocked. See what I did there? Let me take another look at it. Oh. Hold on. Miss Alexis was asking a question. She's got an answer. And now let's put that away. All right. Let's see. Let's plug this in. Very nice. Karis's parents were supposed to come down here, so we almost just canceled the daytime stream. But we are rescheduling that. That is the other thing. So her parents are not coming down today. So we're just going to have a short daytime stream, and then we're going to have a nice nighttime stream as well, right? All right. Let me turn this down a little bit. Very nice. So I would like to get started on Sarah's order, but it would be better if she was here. Helio says, 1 Pokemon Gem 2 for both the slabs. Could you sign the back of the Tyranitar? Oh, yeah, we did that order already. Good. So that was last night. And now we're going to have Mr. Joshua Whipple. Missing 1 slab for my shipment. Just sending a penny message as a reminder. Tag 10 Charmander. Joshua Whipple. Oh, as a reminder, meaning that next time you ship, you don't want it missed. Okay. All right. Sounds good to me. We have an order. Ivan Rodriguez, One Piece Crocodile. Now, where would that have gotten off to? Is that still up on the table, or did you find that in our Discord server? Let's see. Let's see. Crocodile. There he is. So he probably is in here. You said the table? I think he's in the box. Oops. Hey, what's up, Mr. Stevens's trunk? How's it going, man? Mr. Skipped me, damn it. It's pronounced damn it. So we're going to say crocodile is sold. Crocodile sold. Nice. Okay, that's all my sales for today. Have a nice evening, everybody. I'm just kidding. Ivan Rodriguez. Appreciate you guys coming out here to hang out. Okay. And now we do have the Sarah order. We could get to work on the Sarah order. What I recommend is if you guys want to open something, open it right away. Jorge Trejo says, let's get some shipping. All right, let's go looking for your bag. I recommend, did you get my Discord message? Did I? Let me look. About a, here it is, about a Charmander, huh? Charmander tag from Poke Shuffles. Let me mark that on red. Let me ask, because I think Miss Alexis is here right now. Does Joshua Whipple have a Charmander down there? Did you just ship? I actually think I might know what you're talking about. Let's see. Does it look like this, Mr. Joshua? Does it look like that Charmander? I shipped it with that big order last Thursday. Would this be the Charmander? Let me tell you exactly what happened. Miss Alexis did not make a mistake. I did. I didn't write your name down. So I didn't write your name down, and I knew it was someone's, but I wasn't sure whose. And I said, all right, there's no way they're going to miss this Charmander, and they're going to mention it when they don't see it. Here it is. So I set it to the side in the shipping pile, but I didn't send it to Alexis. Haha. Very nice. Perfect. Now we know where it's at. Boy, I can ship it out right now. Would you like me to do that? Here's Jorge Trejo. All right. It is safe and sound. I did that. I've done that before. Ah, that bag is quite old. Okay. Ugh. Gomez, Diaz, Dominguez. All right. Set that there. Let's go ahead and tap this in. I sent him a penny message too, just in case, at work, so I can't watch. I thought a day was a no-go. I thought daytime stream was a no-go. We started it pretty late, but it is a Friday. I don't want to miss Friday completely. So we are live. How's it going, guys? Okay, let's see. And now we're going to click on this. Boop. And some of these. Oh, numlock must be off. There we go. Very good. I thought daytime was a no-go. I sent a penny message. Whipple, yo, my bro. Okay, we're going to hit print. Print. Like the stream. Come on. Come on. Click. All right, there we go. Very nice. Tossing this over here. Paying down Pelipper. You got it, man, Mr. Steven. Let's see. Haha, here it is. We're going to say 380. Boom. All right. Very nice. Mark J. Valerian for 2 Yu-Gi-Oh! Legend of Blue Eyes. Ooh. Let's go ahead and snip this. Sneep. Good. What do we got here? We've got Flower Wolf. Oh. And Final Flame. That's for Mark J. Valerian. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it, man. Let me respond to this real fast. Okay, cool. So, I'll grab this. Let's see. How's your Friday daytime going, guys? I hope you guys are having a nice day. There we go. Let's see. Did you guys like the thumbnail? The thumbnail shows off a ton of cards. Here's Victor Kokiko's spot in the Jumbo Pack Break. Oh, hell yeah, dude. We got 2 people in the Jumbo Pack Break now. So now we need 2 more people. Where did you get Mario cards? From the Mario Kart store. Okay. Very nice. And now we've got William Wafter. He says 5 Korean Destined Rivals. 5 Korean Destined Rivals. That's going to be right over here. All right. Ah, here we are. Ooh. Let's snip this. Ooh. Okay, let's snip this. Aha. Ooh. 5 of these packs. There you go. So that is for you, Mr. William Wafter. We need another Poke Room Tour. It's been too long. Yeah. I suppose we could actually in vertical mode. It wouldn't be that hard. Yeah, we probably could. I'm going to give you guys the room tour. I show you where I keep all my fish. Hey, what's up, Sarah? I'm ready to do that order for you. We are. I was just kind of waiting for you to show up, actually. We are. Oh, the tree, the tree. Okay. Here's a cold one. Here's Kurobat. All right. And, whoa, did I miss the face reveal? You missed the face reveal? No. Oh, man. It was such a good face reveal, too. That's William Wafter. All right, William with the W. Let's see. William with the W. You're going to be down here. Got it. My brain doing an analysis. Look how fast I found that bag. Ooh. Thank you, William. All right. Now we have Sarah Dusenberry. And she says, 1 more box of OP13 and 3 Lord of the Rings. That is a very different order than usual. All right. So here's 1, 2, 3. Lord of the Rings. Topps Chrome, everybody. Beautiful. All right. 3 Topps Lord of the Rings. Let's get started. Mr. has a full beard now. Yeah, you missed the full beard. Okay, we'll snip this. And we've got this. And we've got this. All right. Very good. What do we got? Wow, great pull. That's exactly the card that you saw come back from PSA that I had. Look at that. Beautiful. That's worth grading, by the way, because I think this card tends to sell like, gosh, I think I've seen it sell for 500 once. I don't know if it's still going for that much, but that is a great card. That's just the checklist, too. Any of you guys could pull that. It's not like the rarest card in the set. It's just one of the cards in the set. So you could pull that multiple times. It's just so beautiful, and there's not that many of them graded. Long time to see you. Who? Vicky? It's Vicky Main. Hey, how's it going, Vicky Main? Here's, what do we got here? Legolas. Oh, Guillaume. Oh, the Hobbits. How nice. Doing well. Hope you are also. Okay, and finally, look at that. Oh, the Hobbits. We got the Evil King, the Witch King, Agumon or something. Here's Guillaume, and here's Guillaume. Very nice. All right, very nice. Oops. Okay. Miss Sarah, what a round. Okay, we got to get you your OP13 box as well. Come on now. Whoa, did I miss the face reveal? I already read that. Happy Friday, by the way, guys. It's a Friday in September. What more could you ask for? Looks like we need some more of those OP13s. I'll be right back. Just a normal day. All right, set this up. So I brought a whole bunch in for any future orders. Haha. There we go. Okay. Miss Sarah. Pop this open. Ooh. Okay, we'll set this here. Let's start snipping. So you already did well on your Lord of the Rings round. Although there's a lot more cool cards in that set. There's like signature cards. There's fabric cards. It's really good stuff. There's a neat Saruman card. That card's really nice. OP13, we're always looking for a manga rare. But I bet you there's some pretty interesting mid-tier pulls in here as well that we haven't seen yet. One Piece, one of the best-selling sets on the channel, and it's not Pokemon. Very interesting. I have a feeling that One Piece cards are going to be very investable long run, long term. We are. If there's this much excitement, and it's a really steady excitement for the sealed product. Tossing that. Okay. Set that there. Ready? Let's see. Oh, very nice. Whoa, that card's kind of lewd a little bit. I mean, I don't know if I'd call it lewd, but man, she's kind of naked-ish. Crazy. Okay. That's a body swap character. Is that right? She swapped bodies with a guy or something? That's a guy inside of that body? We are. All right. Oh, wait. You don't normally accept the hollows. Okay, we're going to take the hollows back real fast. Okay. All right. Very nice. Now, we've already pulled the embossed card, so I think there's still another hit in here, potentially. That's a dude with a smoker, yeah. Oh, very nice. All right. Ooh. Okay, yeah. I do like. That's a dude. That's a man, baby. Okay. Cold. 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 Hollow. Oh. All SPs come with an SEC. Tossing that. Here's a cold one. And another cold one. That's cold. And there it is. Second hit. That's what I thought. There'd be two hits in this box. The embossed card and the standard hit. Very nice. Good box. All right. All SPs come with the SEC. I want an SEC. Oops. Pick that up a little bit. So that was for Miss Sarah Dusenberry. Thank you so much, Sarah. You're too kind to me. Okay. So it's Friday. What are you guys doing this Friday? Anything interesting? You are? There you go. Sarah Dusenberry. We've got Finn and Jake. We've got Noctowl. And we've got Gengar. Ooh. Here's Ammonite. And here's Horsey as well. Wait, Horsey doesn't have a price. Let's get a price on Horsey. Work some overtime today, relaxing now. Nice. We're going to have a little bit of a shorter stream today. And so if you'd like to have some cards open, send that order in right away. I'm going to try and wrap up by about 7:20. All right. Planning for world domination? That's a lot of work, man. I don't know if I'd be down for that. I think I'd rather just open Pokemon cards. You never got in trouble for just opening some Pokemon cards, you know? That's kind of how life goes. It makes life very uncomplicated. Ooh. Put on your Hawaiian shirt. Drink a Mountain Dew Code Red. I'll have a glass of your finest red. And open some Pokemon cards. Can't pass up $40 an hour on a 3-paycheck month. I'm doing a lot of overtime this next few months. Nice. Check it out, guys. We got 2 people in the jumbo pack break now. All these boosties could be yours. A $40 chance, your odds are 1 in 4. It's $168 worth of packs. There it is. All right, how about that Evolutions Eevee? He's a nice card. Just got off work, says Toasty Space Ghost. Hey, what's up, man? Wish I had like a... Man, I wish I had like a way to... Man, you know what I wish I had? I wish I had like a second work desk. That's why I wish I had a second work desk. Why does this seem all dusty? Is this dusty? Oh, the sleeve's like dusty. Hold on. Give me this. Hey, what's up, Toasty Space Ghost? Leaving for work in an hour, says Tammy. I'm sorry, Tammy. Just got approved on new CC. About to max it out on this Good Friday stream. What are you talking about? You just got a new credit card. You're going to max it out here? That is not a good idea. All for the Pokemons. Did I buy any Pokemon cards recently? Let me look. There we go. Let's see. Oh, yeah. We got a little bit coming. We got a replacement Tyranitar slab coming. Look at this Meowth. So PSA 9 tops Meowth, huh? Sandpaper silver foil. Basically, that's going to be a more rare third print wave, but nobody's going to understand that or care. I care. Nobody else cares because they don't understand it. Let's see. Let's price them up. Here's a holographic Meowth for $75. That seems kind of expensive. Let me check. Sold. What's not expensive when it comes to the Pokemon hobby these days? You know what I mean? It's all expensive now. All right, so I can just kind of come up with my own price if I feel like it. Hey, Prez, you'll be Mr. Worldwide. I'm thinking of getting the new iPhone 17. 9.25. Okay. I heard people complaining that there's not enough good changes to the new iPhone. I probably ought to keep some of these EVs in storage for the future. You know what I mean? I shouldn't sell this so fast. It's a nice card. What? It's already kind of expensive. How is that even possible? I'm going to store one of these. Storage. Wait, I feel like I should have a different term. Let's say don't sell. Let's say don't sell age. Like fine wine. This one's going in the wine cellar, boys. All right. I kind of want that EV. Yeah, I've sold a lot of them. I don't think I have a lot left. That's the problem. I don't have a lot left. So that one's going in the wine cellar. We gotta have one or two of those for the future, you know, when they cost $300. Whoa, it's at $300. I never would have expected that. We have an empty queue. You guys can open up some cards if you'd like. It is a nice Friday. We've had a very busy week, by the way. Leaf Green Jigglypuff. Wow, what a great card. All right. That is a beautiful Jigglypuff Leaf Green, probably like pop 2 or 3. The Leaf Green deck seems to be extremely rare. It is. So, let's look up Poker Jigglypuff. I like the artwork on it. Okay, so there's only one Jigglypuff for sale for $217. Now, that's the older Jigglypuff, but also that Jigglypuff is more common. I'm going to go ahead and make this an even $200. I think that's an extremely fair price. Cool. No one's going to buy it. That should go up on eBay, actually. Yeah, you know what? We're sending it straight to eBay. eBay. Are there any gym breaks going on right now? Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to work on. I wanted to get more gym breaks. But take a look. We've got this... That's Rainbow Hollow, the tail end of the race. It's Charizard. Now, that only graded 8. Despite that, it's still a $100 card. That is a pricey $50 break. Big risk, big reward. So, and why would you collect an 8 of this card? Because it's almost impossible to own a 10 of it, and an 8's a pretty high grade. This card, it just gets really expensive as the grade goes up. So it really is probably worth just around $100. Keep in mind, you can't even buy rainbow packs for $100 anymore. So that's really, it's a very decent thing. Also, I feel like the tag slab displays it very well. And then over here, we have a pristine 10 Misty's Gyarados for $25. Jump in there. So we got 2 Pokemon breaks going. Now let's take a picture of this little Jigglypuff. So cute. Got a check last sold, not for sale. All right, let's go ahead and jump here. And we're going to grab... Let's see. The eBay channel. Click. Okay. One more picture. Okay. There we go. Very nice. He didn't price EV. EV went to storage. It went to storage. I'm just gonna say $200 on this. Okay. And we can move this away. Now, what else do we have? Here's Beldum. He always checks for sale. Since it's for sale, last sold means it's gone. There's scenarios. There's scenarios where we check last sold. But let me, like for example, let's say you got a card and there's one listed for $1 million, and you're like, this card is not $1 million. So sometimes we will check last sold in that case if there's nothing else to compare it to. But typically I would just look at one that's on the market. Oh, that's Miss Alexis. She just finished the shipping. Okay, we've got Beldum Power. Oops. Power Keepers. Keepers of Power. All right, I don't have anything to compare this to, but I kind of know what I would like to price it for. We're going to price it for just 20 bucks. There it is. TCG prices off last sold. Anyone can make a crazy asking price. All true. So I believe the real price is whatever a buyer and seller agrees to. Sometimes buyers like to sort of argue that you always have to sell at the last sold price, and that's just not true. If that was true, nothing would ever go up in price. Like, think about it. Let's say this card last sold for $10, and then when it's time to price it, you would look it up and it would be $10. So now yours would be $10. Okay, and then it sells. And then the next guy sells his. Well, he has to get his price from last sold. So he looks it up and it's $10. So now his is $10. Everything would always stay the same price. The truth is, today's price is not the same as yesterday's price. When something's gone and it's rare and it's collectible, you can't have it always at the old price. You can if the seller's just trying to liquidate, get rid of it, he's just running away, he's trying to get out of that market. Prices are moving down, that's a great time to argue for last sold. When prices are moving up, no one's really going to, start at the last sold price because they know that it's a market that's moving up. And it's just how it is, I'm afraid. So, it's some other guy. Maybe he got, a lucky auction or something. Like, for example, let's say you had a really odd card that no one searches for in auction. How about Caparajah? How many people are searching for this Caparajah? And then some dummy puts it into auction on eBay, and then it doesn't go for very much because guess what? No one's searching for this Caparaja, so they didn't even know they could bid on it. So then an auction ends, and it ends unusually low, and the seller is now learning a lesson about how to sell cards. They're going, oops, guess I should have put that and buy it now. But then, you know, now you've got a Caparaja for sale. Is your Caparaja worth the auction price? Not necessarily. That auction was a lucky thing for that particular buyer, but now we're going to go with the correct price, you know. So that kind of stuff happens. Cards can be overpriced too. Like I said, sometimes you go to the Buy It Now page, and there's one for like $1 million. And you're like, this isn't $1 million card. Now, I don't know if you're referring to this Charizard, but this card being $100 would not surprise me at all. I think that's actually a moderate price. I think if this card was, you know, tag 10, PSA 10, whatever, man, I wouldn't sell this card at all, first of all. But I think I'd probably ask around 1 to 1.5 thousand. So half of 1.5 or 1,000 would be about 500. That would be maybe, I don't know, like the price of a 9 could be around, well, even then, I think a 9 would be around 250, to be honest. And then an 8 being around 100 just feels about right. So I don't know if you're referring to that one in particular, but yeah, we just go off of the current ones that are for sale because I'm not in competition with the one that last sold. I'm in competition with what you can buy today. That's my spiel. I do that conversation a lot. A lot of buyers tell you you have to sell it last sold. That's not true. Nothing would ever go up in price. Bitcoin would still cost the same price if you always had to sell it at yesterday's price. The stock market would never go up. Beatrice Moniz, thank you for showing the gym battles. Can I please get a spot in the Gyarados? Why, yes. Yes, you can. Let me go grab it. You know, house prices would never go up. Well, you can't sell the house price at that. You got to sell it at yesterday's price. You have to sell it at the last sold price. Just not really how it works. It's more like a combination, and ultimately it has a lot more to do with what a buyer and a seller agrees to. That's what it ultimately comes down to. What a buyer and seller agrees to. And then there's a new sales history, and people can look at it and go, oh, it went up today. Ivan Rodriguez, the Bell Slab. Where'd I put that? Oh, yeah. Good afternoon, mister. Hey, what's up, Jay? Mr. Ivan, I hope you're having a great week, man. Appreciate you hanging out here, saying hi to us. Love the Zard Tail End. I have a 10 of it, but that is a great card. Also, they didn't have cars for gas in 1580. They had horses. All right. No one likes to pay way over market, though. Well, yeah, but again, that's up to a buyer and a seller. So if I were to take, like this card here, this Meowth, and I were to price it at $600, it probably would just never sell. So, and then I would have to make a decision. Do I want to wait for it to go up in price, or do I want to sell it? And so I don't know if there was a particular card you were contesting. I don't think I've priced anything that weird. I've been doing this a long time. We are. All right, let's see. I don't think anything on the table is super weird right now. There's no, like, experimental prices on the table, you know what I'm saying? Here's Ditto Metamong. Yeah, I get it. You would always prefer for the card to be cheap. Who wouldn't? Everyone prefers for the card to be cheap. All right, you ready? Adjust this a little bit. No, not your cards. I was just saying. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. So you were just talking about pricing theory in general. Yeah, I mean, when you go, like, boat shopping, it's the same thing. You know, boat prices go up, house prices go up, card prices go up, the price of food goes up. It all just kind of slowly goes up. But especially when something's rare, the price generally does trend upward. This card needs to be cracked and sent to PSA, man. This is a nice card. It got a 9.5. That's so disappointing. This card would probably make more money as a PSA 10. The Megumin, you guys think this Megumin is nice? You like this Megumin? Mister, I'm pissed. Tell me about it, Eddie. What happened to you, Eddie? Hey, what's up, Finn Watson Link? He says, yeah, I remember watching these years ago. What's up, Finn? Hope you're having a great Friday. Oh, look at this. I got a one of these guys. This needs to be regraded. Maybe I should just crack this right now. You want me to crack this really fast? Let's get this done. This clearly needs to be cracked. I'm not selling this as a 9.5. It's too valuable. Let's take a picture. I pulled Roaring Moon SAR from Prismatic. Roaring Moon from Prismatic. Nice, dude. Okay, we have a regrades channel. Now, we could ask for a cross grade, but we're going to save some money and crack this ourselves to... where should we send it? PSA or tag? Let's send it to tag. Okay. because I gotta send tag a lot of cards anyways. Okay, put a little pressure on here. Try to break the hold that the plastic has on itself, right? Because that's what a slab is, just plastic that's melted into itself. Oops. Oops. That happens every time, doesn't it? Oh, wow. You can really just peel this right off, huh? Okay. I think I noticed that last time. Do this with eye gear. If you guys do this at home, use eye gear, okay? Because this plastic could fly into your eyeball. I don't want you guys to go blind trying to do this at home. Imagine a sharp shard of plastic goes into your eyeball. You wouldn't want that. So do not do this without protective gear. You could also step on a sharp shard of plastic. Be aware of that. Okay. Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. I can feel it still holding on right here. Let's see how it goes. All right. So I'm going to get a little baggy. You guys have seen me crack a couple cards now, huh? It's fun to do it live for somebody who's never seen it, but if you've seen it a couple times, it's not as exciting. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys like watching slabs get cracked? I do this pretty frequently, actually. The regrade's pretty good. Especially on these 9.5s. These 9.5s tend to do pretty well on the regrade. Scooby-Dooby-Doo-Dooby-Dooby-Doo. Probably shouldn't go so fast with such an expensive card. All right. So, put that there. I saw a guy curb stomp a slab to get the card out. He got incredibly lucky and it made for a great video. Oh, meaning the card didn't look damaged? That's crazy. Curb stomp. Okay. Throw that away. All right, looks good to me. The screwdriver went on top of the slab for a second there, but there was no pressure when that happened. And I know it's in these protective sleeves, so I wasn't as concerned. Now, if this was a different slab where it doesn't have that protection, I would be concerned. Okay. Cracking slabs is not a perfect thing. If you guys ever pay $5 to have me crack your slab open, just be aware I could mess up and literally ruin your card. Send it from like a 9 to like a 6. Usually if you're cracking it, it's a 9. I'm tempted to crack that Dragonite. What do you guys think of that Dragonite, the fossil one? It's tempting, but it's got a white dot on the corner. It's a light white dot, though. You know, you never know. Could have a shot at a 10, maybe. There we go. So, ooh, very nice. We'll toss this over here. So now I get to send this card off to tag grading because we don't want Beckett 9.5s. They are kind of not that great. They sell for less than PSA 10s, but they have the card quality of a PSA 10. So that's pretty sad. Look at that card. All right. Cool. delicious cardboard in plastic. Those are my favorite flavors. Wonder how much plastic I've eaten. So here's Sarah. 3 more Topps Lord of the Rings and 1 more OP13. You got it. All right. Set this here. Good. What we got? Ooh. Let's see. We're snipping this. So it is Friday. It's Good Friday. It's Good Friday because today is good. We got some breaks running. Would love to see one of the breaks end sometime soon. Tossing that over there. We can go over which breaks are closest if you guys would like. Oh, what do you have back here? Oh, it's fine. It was just kind of not sitting with the rest properly. Okay, Saruman, the king, and the dwarves being caught by Faramir. And it's my own, my precious. There you are. That's Golem discovering the ring in the river. Love you, short time. Okay. You read about Golem discovering the ring pretty early on in the books, I'm pretty sure, if I remember it right. But I had to reread the Lord of the Rings books. I haven't read them since I was a kid. This angry guy. Okay, he's got a big forehead. Maybe that's why he's so angry. He's got a big forehead. And Golem's clearly got a balding issue. Okay. But not Aragorn. You know why? Because he's the Chad. Chads don't have balding problems. They got plenty of hair. There you go. Okay, last pack. Rip Bernard Hill. Was he the actor who played him? Okay. Here are the boys having a drink. This came out in like 2001. It's been like 24 years. It's actually quite old. Saruman, Christopher Lee, he's passed away. Here's Frodo, and he's looking very mogged. Okay. We got Legolas and Saruman again. Orlando Bloom came out and said he has not been tapped on the shoulder to play Legolas and says that makes him sad and he doesn't want someone else to play it. There we go. That was Topps Lord of the Rings and 1 more box of OP13. He played Theoden. That makes a lot of sense because he already looks pretty old in the movie. So he might have been 60, 50s, 60s, I'd say. So 20 years later, he'd be 70s. All right. And that is the average age. No. Oh, well. Darn it, life. Darn these bodies of ours, these meat sacks that don't last forever. Why can't we live forever, guys? Let's snip this. Okay, and snip this. Girls always want that silly ring. What? What are you talking about? Gollum looks like a lollipop that got dropped on the floor. Maybe a little bit. I remember when the shows came out and the acting for Golem and the sound effects and the 3D animation was all like top of the art. You know, it was like mind-blowing. It was like, whoa, he's really there, but he's not. You know, same with like Yoda in Star Wars Episode 2, where Count Dooku and Yoda fight, Yoga. And Yoda's like flipping around. Rah! He's got a little green lightsaber. You've never seen anything so crazy and cool. You know, and just the previous episode, episode 1, he was still a traditional puppet. But for the lightsaber battle, they turned him into... Oh, Sarah doesn't keep her hollows. But for the lightsaber battle, they didn't keep him that way. They had to animate him so he could have that epic fight with Count Dooku. And it was the same deal. It was so freaking cool that they had figured that out. Because, you know, it was still... I don't know. When did that come out? Like 2001 or something? Count Dooku versus Yoda. And computers weren't that good. I mean, they were being used in movies, sure, but they weren't that good looking. You could tell it was computer animated, and it looked kind of corny. But no, Yoda looked really good, as did Golem. Golem looked somewhat believable. You're like, dang, look at Golem. We are. 2002, Yoda versus Dooku was top-tier cinema. Yeah, it was like the best part of the whole movie. Actually, Clone Wars was always kind of a weaker title, in my opinion. You know, I thought episode 1 was really good. Nobody liked Jar Jar, but I actually really liked episode 1, the introduction of, you know, Darth Maul, the origin story for Anakin Skywalker. Qui-Gon Jinn was super awesome. Obi-Wan was kind of chill. You knew he was going to play a big role in the next movie. Right, so all that was fine. Padme was fine. It was all fine. But Darth Maul was amazing, right? And then episode 2 rolls around, and Anakin's kind of like this butt wipe. You know, he's kind of like this, maybe his emotional teenage years or something, right? It's a bit strange. The relationship between him and Padme is not that well acted, perhaps. And the bad guys are a little less clear. Like, Count Dooku's not that good of a bad guy compared to Darth Maul. You know, he's like a refined gentleman. Oh, if only my old apprentice Qui-Gon was here, he would understand. Qui-Gon would never join the dark side of the Force. Right, so that was all fun and all. But, no, it got really cool, that last scene where Yoga and Count Dooku have their lightsaber battle and sort of made up for a lot of the slow, boring parts. Actually, if I recall, Christopher Lee was already so old that they could not properly record. Here's the problem. When you watch the battle between Anakin Skywalker and Count Dooku, it's all zoomed in, and you just see their faces. And it's like really dumb looking. Like, you want to see the fight, you know, you want to see some choreography, you want to see some backflips, you want to see some cool stuff, right? Because Darth Maul was so epic, it was a great fight. And it really was. They just started off really strong with Darth Maul in the previous episode. Count Dooku comes out, and it's all zoomed in and weird. He's just like using Force lightning and dropping things from the ceiling, dropping over that one pillar, and, you know, Obi-Wan's got to save him. And so he doesn't seem that tough of a combatant. And there's kind of an explanation for this. Christopher Lee was so old that he couldn't properly do the choreographies. That was it. I learned this years and years later. He was too old to do the lightsaber battling. He couldn't do it. And so they had to opt for like some, you know, maybe like some artistic angles. And when he's fighting Yoda, that's not really him. That's a stunt double. And Yoda obviously is 3D. So that's why that's kind of zoomed out so you don't see it too closely. It is. They got to zoom out of it. Pretty neat. Little bit of trivia there for you Star Wars fans. Miss Sarah pulling a nice Utah. Is that Utah? I think it's Utah. You got the Golden Dawn in that round. Nothing too crazy in the Lord of the Rings this time, but every single one of those cards is 100% gradable and really so nice that you might actually grade them. I've graded a lot of the Lord of the Rings cards, and when they grade 10, they sell. They sell really well. I can't believe Count Dooku was Willy Wonka's dad and a dentist. Man, he was the man with the golden gun. The man with the golden gun. In James Bond, Kirsten and I watched that. We had our James Bond marathon where I watched all the James Bonds back to back every night. We worked on it every night. I think it cost us like $100-something to rent them all on Amazon. So it was not free. And we watched all the James Bonds back to back. And he is a James Bond bad guy. Although I will have to say, he's maybe one of the weakest James Bond bad guys. He wasn't that exciting. But he introduced that golden gun thing, and it was fun. It was fun. Woohoo, the music, A. Perez. I send a cash app, says so. No problem. Let's get to that. But first, Mark J. Valerian, one more pack of Legend of Blue Eyes. I'm going to keep this box of Blue Eyes next to me. We're going to start keeping this next to me. Here we are. All right. Here we are. The man with the golden gun. He's a killer. That episode was pretty weird. They had the small person. Are you allowed to say midget? Is that a bad word? I don't actually know if that's a slur. They had the little person, and he was in that episode, and he was almost like a comedic relief, but it felt actually kind of like demeaning at some point. It's like, all right, Mr. Mark, we've had too much fun here. I'm still surprised Ewan McGregor was in Black Hawk Down. Was he really? Ewan McGregor could be in anything. He's Ewan McGregor. Okay. Now, who is next? We have an Adrien Cena, and he says for English 151, please tell me if I got something good. You got it. All right, so this is a very popular set to open, English 151. Let's pop it open. Your odds of pulling something good out of one pack are pretty low. It's a pricey pack, but you need to open like 20 of these to get something good. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to pull something good, but your odds are against you. Let's see what we got. What do we got? We got, oh, not bad at all. Look at this, guys. He got the one-pack Charmander AR. Beautiful. Here are my thoughts on the card. Little off-center top to bottom. See how the top's kind of thick and the bottom's kind of thin? So you wouldn't grade this one, but he's still a really nice card. Look at that Beedrill. For Empire, Misa. Yeah, Darth Jar Jar. When are we getting Darth Jar Jar? If Disney brings us Darth Jar Jar, I take every bad thing back that I've ever said about Disney. Disney's great. Bring it in. Bring it back. Darth Jar Jar it should be. If Disney brought us Darth Jar Jar, I would cry. Tears of joy. Look at that. We got 2 people now in the Jumbo Pack break. If you want to join that, those are always fun. We need 2 more people in the Jumbo Pack break. Didn't I say something about showing off some breaks? I think I said something about that. What do we actually have? So the Bowser break still 3 out of 8. The Cloud break moved. He's now 5 out of 20. We got the Thunder Aerodactyl break, which is not moved. I might cancel that one. This one's actually so cheap. We can actually just put this in the live customs. So he doesn't have to be a break, but that one is really not moved. He's a small one. Here is the current Rare Candy break. It's SB on VMAX. Now that one cannot be stopped. Also, we have this guy. He's up to 6 spots remaining. That's pretty good. And the Heartbreak Slab, which is a little further ahead of the Espeon. You can see this is 1 in 19, this is 1 in 26. But here's where they stand. 7 in 19 is actually not that bad. So this guy could finish on his own, you know, in a reasonable amount of time. There are some of the breaks. Are we missing 1 or 2? We are missing 1 or 2. You ready? Okay, we got 1 or 2 more. Here, a couple more breaks. We got the Topps Moltres break. This one's pretty fast. Only 6 spots left. That's a giveaway card. And the Gengar Master Ball is only 2 in 19, so he's got a long way to go. Those are the breaks. The breaks give you a chance for a slab. They're $40 a piece. Hey, it's Mr. Zach. Zach, 10 Journey Together. Zach and I were talking about politics. We have a politics channel on our Discord server. And we're talking a little bit about the suspect who has been caught. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. He is saying there is a chance that the suspect who did that shooting the other day on Charlie Kirk might actually be like a far-right guy. Very interesting. We are snipping this. I was reading about it. There's some validity to it because really we just have one reason to suspect it. The bullet casings had some writings on them. And one of the bullet casings uses a term, an Italian term, that is used ironically by the far right. So that's very interesting. We are. Heard his dad turned him in. Yeah, I heard about that too. That's got to be, man, that's got to be really tough, dude. Imagine you know your kid did this horrible, horrible, horrible thing that's got the whole country talking. And, you know, he's your kid. He's your flesh and blood. He's supposed to survive you. And now you got to turn him in, and you're pretty sure he's going to jail for life at best. You know, he's not going to have children. You're not going to have Merry Christmas together with your grandchildren. None of that's going to happen. Although, I mean, every time I look at the picture of the guy, he looks kind of just crazy, right? Like, he's got the crazy eyes. That's very consistent. Have you guys noticed that? There's been a lot of bad things in our history, like the one Dylan guy. And they always have, like, I don't know, the school shooter look. He has it. He has the school shooter look. I don't know what it is. You can see it in his eyes. It's so weird. It's such a consistent pattern that it almost makes you wonder if there's like a biological predictor for it. Here's Volcanion. Yeah, he's got that, I don't know, like a bit slow inside look or numb inside look. Here's Florigato. Whoop. Also 27 years service member. Yeah, his dad sounds like, you know, he's one of those pillars of the community type. And so now his son's done this horrible, horrible, horrible thing. Dude, the dad's going to have a heart attack. He probably live a shorter life because of this. Because I've heard stuff like this is so bad for you, so depressing, so stressful that, you know, it ruins your immune system. It ruins your heart. So I do feel bad for the dad because I don't always think that the parents are to blame. Sometimes I think they are a little bit responsible. But sometimes, you know, the internet gets a hold of your kid and radicalizes them. Sometimes maybe you're just a bad person yourself. You know, I know people struggle with that idea, but I think people can actually just be born bad. And the reason I believe that is because I had 11 siblings myself, and it was so obvious. Some kids, super nice, super easy to get along with, reasonable. Other kids, very selfish. They can't see things 2 ways. They just can't. They can't see things from multiple angles. Very selfish. There's a difference between being like opinionated and not being able to see things more than one way. But some kids, they were one mind track. They can't see both sides. And so they have like a, I don't know, like a tunnel vision sort of thing going on. And those kids just did not have the same social skills. And then if you mix one more ingredient in there, a little bit violent, maybe violence toward animals, you're thinking, man, this person could be really crazy. And, you know, so yeah, it was interesting because I had so many siblings. You could tell some were just like, you just bet that they were going to be more successful than others. And it was like a weird genetics experiment. I don't think a lot of people lived through this. I think I have a unique experience being from a big family, all the same parents. You get a unique perspective on genetics, the role of genetics and personality. So anyways, my point is that the dad might be super normal and he could have just had a unlucky bad offspring. Or again, maybe the kids, maybe he's just this sort of easy to influence Hikikimori type or something like that. Maybe he was all wrapped up on his computer. Who knows? We actually don't know. We right now, we don't know much about him. That's all we can really say. We don't know strongly what his motives are. I have not seen a lot of information about what he has said and done online, which usually gives away a lot about that person. But we just do not know anything about him right now, other than those bullets. Wonder if you'll get the reward. Yeah, a lot of people ask that too. Like, you turn your son in, you get money for turning your own family member in. Man, that must feel like some Judas money. But again, like the father, I mean, if I was the father, I think I'd have to do the same thing. It's like, they're going to find you. There's no way for them not to find you in this event. You know, and it's a moral question too. Like, if your family member commits a murder, are you gonna, what type of person are you? Are you the, all right, it's us versus them. We're just animals on this planet, and we're gonna win. You know, we're gonna hide you. Yeah, because I think that the one girl, and what was her name? She was the one girl who is accused of killing her daughter. I think her name was like Casey Anthony. Remember Casey Anthony? I think her mom and dad, like, at first they were on the cop side. If you've watched that story, if you listen to that story, and then I think they snapped and they said, wait a second, we're just here to protect our daughter and nothing else. We don't care about the law. Because they suddenly changed tone when they got very close to catching her and finding her guilty. The parents both changed tone and seemed to be playing defense for her all of a sudden. And so, you know, the dad here, obviously, he didn't do that. He chose to go with the law and order perspective. And I think that probably reflects his, you know, his values. And that must just, I don't know, it must tear you up. It must really tear you up. Being able to do something like the greater good as opposed to your own flesh and blood, you know, very tough. But also, we don't know what the relationship to his son was like. Maybe they didn't get along. You know, if the father's not the type to, oh, I don't know, do a massive political assassination, and his son is, he might be looking at his son going, who even are you? You're only half of me, after all. Maybe you're maybe the other half of you is not so great. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? You all might have a crazy family member, so you might relate to the dad turning him in to some degree. I don't know. I think I would have done it myself too. I don't think you can do something like this and not get turned in. It's like, they're going to know. They're going to bring in the CIA, the FBI, the computer geeks. They're going to come in and find you with computers, and you can't be hidden. It's not possible. He would have had to have already snuck out of the country to a place like North Korea, Russia, maybe some places in South America, like Iran or something. You got to go to the far reaches of the world to avoid getting extradited in order to get away from this scenario. All right. So this is a sexy waifu. She did grade 9.5. I'm going to give her a chance to sell for 50 before we try to regrade her. The left that celebrated his passing is crazy. Yeah, I guess you could talk about that. You could say, you know, since we're on this subject now, I guess you could say if it was a far-right extremist who killed him, there is a conversation to have about how the Democrats cannot be blamed for this shooting. It's not their fault then. You know, it's really the far-right's fault. And so that's a problem you could argue within the Republican Party. And so that's probably the angle I would go with if I was a Democrat. I think still, though, the reaction to his death also is pretty, I don't know, it's pretty dividing, because a lot of people celebrated him dying. And I think it's an ugly look. It's probably not as bad as if the shooter was definitely a Democrat. So those are the kind of details people will be looking for, I think. But yeah, I mean, it really depends. I don't know. I don't like to make too many statements about this guy because we really don't know anything about him. Here it is. It's probably, the funny part is, it's probably better for the country if the shooter was a far-right extremist, because it places the attention again on the need for moderate Republicans and moderate Democrats to sort of bring their parties under the umbrella of rejecting the radical elements of their parties. It doesn't matter what side you're on, it's just a bad idea. And so, the Republicans, who were probably very prepared to pin this completely on Democrats, would then be forced to have to backtrack that a bit and say something more along the lines of, we don't identify with the far right. We never will. Those guys are bad guys. They're frothing at the mouth. And we have a real problem. We got to solve it. So that would, so the outcome of this shooter, the motive of the shooter is actually pretty important to this story. And I wonder where it will go. I'm going to crack this one too. I really like this card. I want to crack this card, send it to maybe to PSA. I don't know. I don't know if Tag even grades this. Left-wing media indoctrination is to blame. I swear people take our basic rights and freedoms for granted. The celebrators are in deep poo now. Yeah, well, either way, celebrating him was never going to be a good strategy. And I had a feeling a lot of that was going to happen. I hear a lot of people are losing their jobs over that. And all you had to do was just relax. Maybe take a vacation while we figure out all of this stuff. And, yeah. It definitely rocks the country a bit, doesn't it? I think Charlie's message will still be kind of, no matter who did it, Charlie's message about open dialogue, debate, debate my ideas. I think that will be a very strong message for a long time. We are. Oh yeah. We are cracking open another slab, guys. Happy Friday, by the way, guys. 50,000 people watching Erica's live, and it hasn't started yet. Erica Kirk, his wife. Wow. Oops. Do you use tile nippers? I want to see Mr. Crack a lobster and a crab. You don't want to see me eat crab. I eat crab like I've been eating crab for 50 years. I'm skilled at it, man. I can crack crab like a freaking otter or something, man. I'm real good at it. I've eaten a ton of crab over the years. Here we are. Remember that one time I had a real nasty cut on my thumb because I was eating crab and it like injured me. The crab had a last word. He's like, "Yeah, you gonna eat me? Watch this." Here we are. Pokemon mukbang stream. Would you guys like that? That'd be fun to make someday. I was talking to Karis about what I should do in life if I was retired, and I realized I really do, just in general, enjoy making content. So maybe one day I will have another channel doing something like just a podcast or something, just talking to people. There we go. Just talking to people. I don't know. Maybe just something that isn't strictly Pokemon focused. All right. Didn't you have a blood card? A long time ago, I had a blood card, guys. I got a bad paper cut, I think, in the middle of one of my streams, and I started bleeding from it enough to actually get like a couple drops of blood. And so what I did was I think I dropped the blood onto an energy card and signed it and sold that encapsulated in a Cardconomist slab. So somewhere out there in the ether, I don't know who has it. Somebody has a Cardconomist blood card with my blood on it. Why do the UPC Charizards keep going up? Well, as a function of the value of the cards inside. That's why. Those Charizards are pretty cool. There's 3 of them per box, right? There's 3 Charizards. And so when you buy a Charizard UPC box, there's a chance you pull 3 PSA 10 Charizards out. But then on top of that, you have all the value of those booster packs too. Gives you a nice big chunk of booster packs. And you have a chance all of the time to pull some kind of alt-art out of there and absolutely make mind-blowing amounts of money. Here we are. So imagine you buy a Charizard UPC, pop it open, and you pull... Oh, this was a 9.5 for BGS. Let me take a picture of this real fast, guys. So imagine you pop it open, and out comes Moonbryon, which is totally possible. This was BGS 9.5, sending to PSA We are tracking the slabs we crack because it's really a good idea to understand, you know, when borderline cards manage to flip. This isn't even considered a borderline card. BGS just has a different number that it hands out for its gem mints. So it calls its gem mints 9.5, whereas PSA calls them 10. So we're going to try and turn this into a nice PSA 10, and it will be worth so much more as a PSA 10. That is the truth. Okay, Aaron Rodriguez, 5 of the 151, Japanese. You got it. But anyways, that was part of the reason why I was so late today. I was like getting myself involved in, you know, conversation. I do that sometimes. I get kind of sucked in, and that doesn't sound right. I get kind of distracted, you know, and I enjoy those discussions a lot. It's like a game, talking back and forth. Okay. I mean, I was coming down, but I still landed the plane. Sorry, wrong chat. Why did you sign it? I'm curious to know why you signed it with your blood. You know, because like a blood card. It's cool, right? That's like some cool Dracula stuff. That's like Death Note or whatever. I love the Weiss Schwarz and Union Arena cards. It sucks that they don't seem to be as popular as some of the other TCGs. What? Weiss Schwarz has done very well. You have to consider they're like a brand new company. I don't know if they're brand new, but they're not like big in the West. The fact that we all know the name Weiss Schwarz and have opened so much of it, it's a, you know, it's a monumental success actually. And we still sell Weiss all the time. We sell it constantly. Here it is. Now they got your DNA and can plant it during a robbery. Oh, that's an interesting idea. I didn't even think of that. Here's a Snorlax. All right. Ooh. I guess that wouldn't be hard to obtain either way, though, if you were dead set on framing me, right? Like, I'm pretty sure you could just camp out by my home at night and steal my trash can or something to try and get my DNA. There's probably... ChatGPT will help you get my DNA. Dear ChatGPT, I need the DNA of TCC. We are. All right. Here's... Oh, Hypno. I'll give you some DNA. Mr. sells kinky toys. Here's Firo. Someone's going to clone you from your blood. I think it would be very cool to pay a lot of money and be cloned. That would be super cool. Like if it was exactly you. I mean, that's some crazy stuff. I'm 1000% down for that kind of stuff too. Some people are like morally, ethically opposed to that. I think it's some of the coolest stuff science can do. You know, imagine we could get a perfect clone of a person. That's huge, you know. That's going to be a huge thing because you would clone... Your most successful people would get cloned all the time, right? You know, instead of having this mixture of them where you get some of their DNA from mom and dad, you could get a perfect replica of who they were. And let me give you an example then. Let's see, who would we clone first? Who's your guys' idea for the best person to clone? Here's Adrien Cena, 2 Night Wanderers. Mr. Adrien. Who would be the best person to clone outright? Where's Night Wanderer? Do I need a fresh box of the Night Wanderer? I might need a fresh box, okay? So give me a minute, though. What is this? This is Slab. Dua Lipa getting cloned first. Do cloned people have souls? Does anyone have a soul is a great question. Yeah, does anyone have a soul? What is this? Wow, that's cool, man. I think I'd keep this though. Cristiano Ronaldo. Sure, you could do that. I think I'd want to clone some of the smartest people on Earth. Actually, if you could clone people, does that mean you could go back in, take a really old piece of their DNA and clone them from that? Now that would be scary cool, wouldn't it? That would be very scary, like clone Einstein or something. But again, a bit scary too, because it implies a lot of bad people could be brought back too, right? The worst people in history could be brought back to life. So, not directly, but like a copy of them could be. All right, I'll be right back. I got to get some Night Wanderer. All right, here we are. Night Wanderer time. You know, you can clone your pet. How cool is that? I don't want to clone my pet. I want to clone my face. I want to clone me. There we go. All right. Einstein said, don't bring me back to life by artificial means. Did he actually? Okay. You think Walt Disney would want to come back? I'd want to come back. Now, I know it wouldn't be me, but it would be like a copy of me. That's cool as hell, man. Okay, that's what a box of Night Wanderer looks like. Two of these for Mr. Adrien. Here you go. Oh, yeah. I'm going to clone my money. That one leader, says Cyberstan. Here we are. And why we always think about that guy. That guy is a straight-up boogeyman, man. Here we are. I don't know what it is. I don't think he technically killed the most people in history, did he? Let me ask. That's the crazy part, but he's the most memorable because of how he did it. Which world leader got the most people killed as a result of his negligence or evil actions? Let's see who it is. Are you ready? Mao Zedong from China. There was an estimated 45 to 75 million people killed. After that, it's Joseph Stalin with an estimated 20 to 30 million. The big H guy, he got 17 to 25 million people killed. See, that's the thing. I think the way he did it was more vitriolic. It was more like revenge and anger based. And there was more style to it. And it was just like darker. Like everything about it was darker. Whereas, you know, Stalin and Mao Zedong, even though a lot of people died, I think it was more like stupid ideas that didn't work, negligence, apathy, you know, it was sort of selfishness that isn't the same as sort of like hatred. It is Adrien. All right, Adrien. They didn't, I don't know, maybe I'm missing details on that though. Maybe there's some evil of that nature to it. But for them, it was more, you know, it was more about making this whole centrally controlled economy idea work. Like, yeah, we can beat the capitalists with, look, no private property. You'll do what the government tells you to do. It's going to work. You guys who do this job, now you're farmers. Go work on the farm. And then, you know, and then there's some kind of famine or something. It wipes out a bunch of people. How long are you going again? Oh my gosh, it's 7:28. Well, let's see. What do we have left? What do we have left? I think we have a couple orders left. We're just going to take care of those. Okay, guys? Alicia, Mega Sublist. You got it. Miss Alicia, the Mega Sublist is one of the most popular breaks still. Here you go. I was going these away on $10 orders. What? Mr. Too late for orders? I think it's too late for orders. Here's Alicia Brown. But we're going live again tonight, and I won't be late. I was late for the daytime stream. I apologize for that, guys. I apologize. Now, she wants a spot on the Jolteon and the Espeon. Oh, yeah. Those are good choices. There you go. Miss Sarah. Me, 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 me. Ivan was asking about the Ditto. Oh, he wants the Ditto. Here it is. So this Ditto appears to be a PSA 9. Now you're asking if the price is correct. Is that because the price has dropped or the price has gone way up? Sometimes the price changes really rapidly. Ditto. Oops, Dirto. Meta Mong. Yep, 130 is correct. All right. You guys are going to have a good weekend? What are your plans for the weekend? You guys got any plans? There he is. All right. Karis and I were going to spend time with her parents, but that has been canceled. So now we got nothing to do. Nothing but to hang out and open cards with you guys. I sent 130. Oh, yeah. All yours, baby. Let's get these put away. So here's the rare candy Espeon. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. And here is the Heartbreak. This is the Heartbreak Break. Chance for a whole Jolteon. Okay. Watching The Conjuring. Oh, yeah. I need to take Karis to watch The Conjuring. That would be cool. Carrots and I will probably work on figuring out where to move. We are closer than ever to being able to just pack up our bags and move into a rented house, get all of our stuff out of this house, rent a house, and then start selling all of our houses. We've been talking seriously about not owning a home. I know that sounds crazy, but we are talking seriously about only renting. We already have a fantastic investment called Pokemon cards, and the idea to just be able to like move from home to home, it's kind of appealing. We're full remote workers. I just bring my card shop wherever I go, and she just needs a laptop. That's it. She needs nothing else, just a laptop. So for her, it's even easier. So we've talked about maybe like living in a city for 2 years, packing our bags, moving to a new city. And we can still try to have like an IVF baby and just bring the baby with us. So we've thought about selling all our homes and being travelers a little bit. Now that can be really difficult because of all the Pokemon product, but you can kind of plan that all out. It takes extra effort and work, and the cost of moving is extraordinarily high if you have a lot of stuff. But, you know, having the variety, it could work. Notice we don't really take vacations, but I don't know, maybe it would be interesting to just live in a city for like 2 years. Then again, maybe you'll end up feeling like some sort of drifter type. I don't know. It's hard to say. Mr. Reed Chat, you're staying in the Ozarks. Mr. This were Alicia Spots. What did I write down? Oh, I wrote down the wrong name. I wrote down Sarah Dusenberry. How did I do that? Oh my gosh. We got you, Miss Alicia. Have no fear. That problem would never have lasted. It's all done right here on camera. Oh my God, dude. That's also why we show the names off at the beginning of every break, so that if you've got a spot that's not in the break that should have been there, you can double check it and be like, hey, I paid for a spot in there. And then if that happens, we will 100% get you taken care of. My bad. Here we are. I think Sarah's just becoming such a big name over here. My brain wanted to write Sarah down. There we go. Tossing these off the podium like clockwork. A lot of packages get stolen in the city, says Gabriel. That's a fair argument. Sure. We're really curious about those 3 major places: Dallas, Texas, Knoxville, Tennessee, and Reno, Nevada. We're really curious about those places. Bro, hey, what's up, Squid Pokemon? What's up, man? I know you don't ever cry. That's right. Men aren't allowed to cry. You may cry at a parent's funeral. You may cry when your grandmother dies. And you can cry when you sell your favorite Pokemon card. Those are the only appropriate times. Also, if you're at war and the guy right next to you, who's like your best friend in the war, if he, if he blows up, that's also acceptable. Any other moment, men are not allowed to cry. That's my toxic rules for men. Later, watch Erica's address on one-time speed, and you might have a tear drip. I'm crying right now. Mister, thinking about Sarah. Sarah, she looms large because she opens a lot over here. She's treated us very good. Alicia also treats us very good. I'm sorry about that, Alicia. We've been servicing Sarah orders all day today, and I think my brain's wrapping up, kind of. Crime rates? Been a minute. You still in the Ozarks? Hey, it's Nicholas Snell, member for 54 months. First of all, thank you so much for being a member for so long. That's super cool. And the answer is yes. We're in Lake of the Ozarks. We have a nice little lake house out here. But we are talking about maybe packing our bags up and moving to the city. We're talking about it. Just a change of life, really. This place, how would I grade Lake of the Ozarks? It's wonderful. The lake's gorgeous. You get the warm air. You get the hot water so that you can go swimming in. It's very nice. Skinny dipping in the summer. 4th of July in the summer is amazing. Boats everywhere. There's a certain feeling out here like everyone's in it for the lake lifestyle. Really laid back, no traffic. Downsides: no mall. I miss having an indoor mall to shop at. No mall. There's a lack of civilization that you really detect at some point. You go, man, we really are in the middle of nowhere. No airport. That's a big one. Hard to go places if there's no airport. No mall, no airport. Lack of food, which is a big one for me. I love food. That's why I'm a little fat. And so I miss having food variety. That's a big one for me. I miss that a lot. But things you can't beat. The hills out here are so gorgeous. They're not quite like the Smoky Mountains, but they're very gorgeous. Big canyons, like the certain parts, like in Ha Ha Tonka State Park, so beautiful. The changing of the leaves in the fall, So nice. And just watching families get together and play in the water is very wholesome. Like I said, it's very laid back out here. And the affordability, really, you can't beat the affordability. Lake of the Ozarks got to be one of the best lakes that you can actually afford. You can actually buy a lake house out here. We got our lake house for $650. And if you got the same lake house in another lake somewhere else, it's like over $1 million. So the affordability is pretty amazing. They're also building this area up like crazy. It is getting built so hard right now, and there's so many more people here than there were 3 or 4 years ago. So you've heard the downsides, you've heard the upsides. We're thinking about trying a no-tax state. We're full remote workers, so that's looking like Nevada, where there's no tornadoes, and Tennessee. That's what it's looking like. Okay, let's stop talking. Let me take care of these orders. So we got Zach. He says 10 more Journey Togethers. You got it, Zach. Indoor malls are cringe. Nah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, that's the rest of the box. They're not. You might think they are, but if you go a couple years with no indoor mall, try doing this. Be like me. Be in Lake of the Ozarks, stuck in your house on a cold winter, and there's nowhere to go walking. It's dark outside. You're not going to go walking outside even if you have a coat and winter gear, because it's so dark, because it's 6:50. It's 6:30. So you're not going outside. There's nothing to do out there. It's pitch black. The wind's howling. And you wish you could go to a nice busy mall full of people drinking Starbucks, the smell of the coffee's going through the mall, the smell of the cinnamon rolls from Panera Bread, you know, and people are at the food court making noise. Kids are crying or screaming. And there's things to shop for the winter, like Christmas, right? There's a little card shop with some people looking at the cards in the mall. You know, you miss those things about society. If you lose it for a while, you miss those things. And there are things you'll miss about leaving a place like Lake of the Ozarks. The first year that we came out here, standing on the dock, seeing all the water just floating there, and we don't even have that bad of a mortgage, and we got this big lake to ourselves. That's pretty amazing. That beats any cookie cutter home any day of the week. Cookie cutter home with nothing but a boring grass yard and a fence. The water, the boats floating around, the guys fishing. You can't beat that. It's so beautiful. But it's a trade-off. It really is. You can't have both. You can't have the city amenities and the lake house beauty unless you're paying like $2 million, $1.5 million for that lake house. Because there are some places that have both the city and lake. But I promise you, those lake houses in those areas, they start at $1 million. And the bad ones start at $1 million. You want a nice one like the one we're in, that's probably like $2 million in the city. It's really terrible. So some cities do have lake houses near amenities, but you got to pay some really bizarre money for that. Kilowatt trail, ooh, yeah, you're talking like $1.5 million minimum. That's the starting price for a decent lake house. Even in Florida, we've done a lot of research on Florida. They got all kinds of water houses. You can buy a crappy lake house or a crappy waterway canal lake house or whatever you want to call it, I guess lake house. Those are still starting at like $800,000, $900,000, and they're terrible. They're tiny, or they're very old and dilapidated, or the water's not a quality chunk of water. That's a skill, by the way, picking out the high quality water, because it turns out not all the water is good. So people avoid the bad water, and that stays up on the market. Hey, I thought this was a good round. You got Lily's Clefairy, and you got the Kilowattrel, too. Not Panera. Oh, yeah, Panera. You Cinnabon, mister. Are you the chicken connoisseur? I'm the chicken connoisseur. TCC. Ivan Rodriguez picks up the Pikachu Ditto. Now, I would be tempted to regrade this if I was you, Mr. Aaron. I'd be tempted to regrade that. If that regrades into a 10, it's a big deal for you. There you go. A lot of these graded 10. This one got a 9, but a lot of them graded 10, and they're all from the same cut of cards. This is probably a borderline card. All yours, man. Mr. NHCC says, I'll ship out 13 for whips and 80 for mine. Ship whatever fits. No problem, man. For whips. I don't know what that one means. All right, so that's an international order. I think I'm going to work on that in the nighttime stream, okay? I'm hopping off, guys. We are done with the daytime stream. It's almost 8 o'clock. Sorry for starting so late. I'm hopping off. I'll see you guys for the late night stream. See you later.